got a little bit of daylight, got enough daylight to do this. So let's go ahead and do this thing, man. Get people a few minutes to slide in. I know it's a little, but I'm heading down the highway, man. I just changed my schedule, man, and flipped around. So I'm back on that early tip again. Got a topic I want to talk about today, man, because I think, you know, we as men have to understand that not every man is a leader. And not every man is worth listening to. SJ3, what's good, my brother? I see you in the building. Salute to you, bro. Monday morning motivation for sure. Othello, I see you, man. Have a brother. Fun. Tayon, what up, man? Salute to you, my brothers. Legacy, what up, man? Salute to you. Fun Miles, what up with you, bro? Got to show my eyes today, man. It ain't dark, it ain't bright enough for the shades. Ain't no sun in my eyes, man. So, make us my defrost on, man. All right, let's get it, people. Just let's give them another minute or so to get in here, man. Because the topic, man, it's just a result, man, of how many haters I'm dealing with, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what the problem is, man. The majority of men don't care about money as much as they say they do. They care about it because money leads to getting women. The majority of men don't care about fitness and health and wealth as much as they say they do. They care about it because that's another route that helps you get more women. Or so they've been told. The majority of men don't care anything about those things by comparison to what they care about respect. You see, what you got to understand is that the majority of men that hate on you, that envy you, don't envy you because of money, because any man can get on his grind and get some money. Don't envy you because of your physique, because any man can get on his grind and get his physique right. They envy you because of respect. Because of respect. You understand? Now, this comes because there's just a few little cats that are always throwing subliminal. You know, they're continual with the subliminals. And I'm not going to respond, but it always sparks content in me. Things that I wouldn't want to talk about. And today we're going to talk about how you cannot let lesser men or unworthy women lure you into evil. Because see, nobody can force you to be evil. They lure you into evil. Now, what kind of evil? I'm not saying they're going to lure you to commit no murder. I'm not going to lure you to steal nothing from nobody. They're not going to lure you to do that. What they're going to do is lure you from the path that God has you on. And that in itself is a sin. That's why I preach entrepreneurship so much. So that men who are meant to be entrepreneurs, not every man is, but so that men who are meant to be entrepreneurs could go ahead and get on that entrepreneur thing, man. Invoke their entrepreneurial spirit, so they can get out there. Because that's what God wants them to do. So let me tell you something, man. You got to keep in mind that 9 times out of 10, when somebody's hating on you, they're at a lower level than you are. Because anybody who's on your level or above, you can rest assured that they're focusing on their grind. That's how they got to your level or above. Anybody who's below your level, as men, we have to respect the rites of passage into manhood, into business success, into health and wellness success. We have to accept the rites of passage. The rites of passage are this. Until you reach a certain level of accomplishment, you don't have the strength the wherewithal, the pull, reach, the knowledge to try to call out someone who's way above your level. You just don't. That's like a high schooler right now calling out LeBron or KD. They're not going to do it, because let me tell you something. There's no high schooler on the planet that thinks he can actually beat LeBron or KD in a one-on-one. He probably believes he in a few years he might be able to. But when we're talking about two of the greats, it's kind of like when Kobe was at his peak. No high schooler was saying, I can beat Kobe. MJ, no high schooler was saying, I can beat MJ. You know why? Because college players come into the league and get dominated by those guys. Other professional guys who've been in the league as long as those guys get dominated by those guys. So you don't have the right. And if you don't understand you don't have the right, then you're more of a peon than the actual calling out makes you seem. But you as a man, and this is where being the bigger man comes in. You have to be the bigger man. Why? Because you are the bigger man. See, being the bigger man should only be a problem if you're not the bigger man. It's hard to be the bigger man if you're not the bigger man. But being the bigger man, you have to embody your role as the bigger man. So I'm not going to respond to a diss from a guy whose best videos do 10 times worse than my worst videos, whose top performing content is dwarfed 10 times over by videos that perform so bad on my channel, I take them off. Another thing, man, this is online, bro. Any man can say he is who he says he is online. Any man can say you're not who you say you are online. Right now, a man can meet me right now and say, I am who I say I am online. Another man can meet me and say, I'm not who I say I am online. You know where the truth comes in at? The people who know you for real. Unless somebody's been in your life over the past 5 to 10 years, they know absolutely nothing about who you are. And any man can fake it for a conversation. Any man can fake it for a night on the town kicking it. Any man can fake it for a phone conversation. And let me tell you, the crazy thing is, a lot of times these people be people, man, that have had access to you, people that can contact you, but they rather just be haters, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, brothers. I still believe in the old adage. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't doing that. If you ain't in somebody's mouth, on the tip of somebody's tongue, in somebody's brain, you ain't doing that. If somebody ain't waking up out their sleep in anger and exasperated anger, yelling out, oh, I hate that guy, you ain't doing that. If somebody ain't doing everything in their power to try to bring you down, you ain't doing that. They look at you and say, hey, he already down. So let me tell you something about a hater, man. A hater gonna be a hater every day of his life. You don't grow out of being a hater. You become a bitter. And that's all that's going on. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. There ain't nothing that I've seen by nobody on this platform that makes me want to continually throw shots at them. The only thing that will make a man continually throw shots at another man is envy. Envy or a real sexual desire for that man. Those are the only things. Nothing is going to make you continually keep darts to a man, even though the man doesn't respond and the man doesn't even care about it. Nothing is going to make you do that except a serious case of envy or a serious case of lustful desire. Now, if you out there dissing a man, you got to figure out which one it is for you. You got to figure out and be honest. Contact that man. Tell him how you feel. If you're real as you say you are, that's what you're going to do. See, I'm going to tell you like this, man. I've been doing a whole lot of soul searching here, man. You know, as men, we have to soul search every year. Every year, at least twice a year, you got to do some soul searching because you got to make sure there ain't no leeches on your soul. Now, what do I mean by leeches on your... Let's talk about what a leech is. A leech is something where, let's say you in a river in Cambodia somewhere. You in the river, you got 50 yards to go. You don't know till you get out the water that the leeches are all over your legs. You know why? Because they're discreet and they lock on to you and suck away from you. Your blood is your life force. And you are sitting not knowing that those leeches are on you, draining your life force. It's the same thing with a spiritual leech. You have not because you need to correct yourself. You're trying to correct yourself every day of your life. See, we're not going to talk about self-improvement. We're going to talk about self-correction. Because improvement is such a bland word. Development is such, a man can develop into the most evil man in the world. Improvement only matters depending on where you are. If you're the scum of the earth, you can improve tremendously and still be scum. But when we're talking about self-correction, God is about correction. He corrects you. He reprimands you with the intent of correcting you. So I want to do what God wants to do in my life. So we're going to talk about correction. It's the only thing we're going to talk about. So you don't soul search yourself to correct yourself, because you live your life every day correcting yourself. You soul search to make sure that spiritual leeches attached to your soul. How do you do that? Everybody in your life has to have a check and balance. And you go through and you balance your checkbook just like you do your bank book. You go through and you do a check and balance on everybody. If they balance is out of whack, hey man, you give them away to the needy. You see what I'm saying? If they balance is out of whack, you get those people away to the needy, man. See, I'll tell you something. There's only two reasons that a man is going to envy you. It's either because of your status or because of a woman. And a lot of times it's because of both. Now let me tell you something. If a man knows how to contact you, and he also knows a mutual connection that he can contact you through, but he would rather do subliminal disses, that man hates you. He envies you so much that it has become hatred. Man, let me tell you something. There's a cat who's done at least 10 to 12 targeted, yet no name call it, but targeted videos directed directly at me, bruh. On some continuous subliminal stuff. And I'm like, bruh, whoever your wife is, I didn't touch her. Whoever robbed you, bro, I wasn't there with them. I get my own money. I ain't take your money. Whoever did something to your mama, bro, it wasn't me. Bro, I didn't say nothing about your kids, man. It wasn't me. I ain't your son's stepdad. I didn't whip him. See, these boys have negative energy like I've done one of these things to them. And I'm like, hold up, bro. The bottom line is this. If you have such a problem with a man and you have a way to contact that man, you contact that man behind closed doors. You don't get on no platform like a sucker and go to spewing subliminal venom. Let me tell you something about subliminal venom. It's like a snake that's 5 feet long trying to strike you from 10 feet away. He can strike all he want to. He ain't gonna even get close to you. But you gonna see him over there striking out, looking like he's having a seizure over there. So let me tell you what the problem is, man. A lot of these cats think they're more valuable than they are. See, I don't value myself when it comes to creating content. I let the people who are affected by my content tell the world how much my value is to them. It's not about how much value I have to myself. It's about how much value I have to the world that I'm trying to affect. And so, you just go through my channel. Go through my channel. Go to my Patreon. Look at the comments. You understand? Talk to some of the guys who I've had consultations with and help them improve their lives. That's all this is about. I don't have to say, hey, I'm so great. My content is top notch. I'm the best at this. I don't have to say that, because that doesn't matter. You can be the best or whatever you want to be the best at, but if nobody else vouches for you, then you only the best in your own mind. You see what I'm saying? This is the bottom line, man. Lesser men don't want your spot because they know they'll never have it. They just don't want you to have your spot. Unworthy women don't really want to be with you. They just don't want anyone else to be with you. This is what we're dealing with in this world as true alpha men. This is what we're dealing with. You have to understand, man, that you have to guard yourself, not from the enemies that you can see, but the enemies who lodge themselves behind friends of yours. Now, a lot of times, these enemies will work to turn your allies against you. But let me tell you how God works. God will never allow your enemies to turn your allies against you. Though he may drive a wedge between you and that particular enemy, you and that particular ally, until that ally understands that he himself is in the company of a spiritual leech. That's why I preach spiritual soundness. That's why I preach godliness. Because if you're not a godly man, you can't identify a spiritual leech. You yourself may be one. But even if you're not one, the only way to identify a spiritual leech is to lean on the word of the Most High. Now let me tell you something. Any man who calls a man out and says negative things about a man referencing the word of God is pure evil. And that is why no one resonates with that man. You can be the greatest orator in the world. You can be the greatest speaker in the world. You can talk about anything. You can talk about things that men know, things men don't know. But if your enemy is evil, most men won't resonate. And your content won't resonate with them either. Your reach is only as far as the lives you affect in a positive manner. And people come into your content saying, man, that's real. I ain't reaching people. Affecting and changing lives is the only way you do that. So take some time and correct yourself. And then maybe God will see fit to bless you with the thing that you envy so much from another man. But I know this is falling on deaf ears. A lot of these men can't do that. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these men don't want to accept the fact they don't love themselves. And so that self-hatred perpetuates itself in hatred for any man who is on the level that that man would wish to be on. And as far as being a content creator, let's talk about this for a minute. Content creation is about building a channel. It's about building a network. It's about building a brand. It's about having followers. If you're a content creator and you ain't doing that, you don't matter, bro. I'm gonna say again, and this gonna hurt some guys. But if you're a content creator and you're not doing that, it doesn't even matter how slow your growth is, but you need to be growing steadily. You don't have to grow phenomenally, but steadily. You can think you're as amazing as you want to, but if no one else is saying that, especially when it comes to delivering a service, you can think you're the best painter in the world, but if every car you ever spray gets a 1-star rating and no one recommends your business, bro, you'll be out of business in 6 months. Same thing with everything else, man. Don't hate me because you can't touch the people. Don't hate me because the people don't herb. I didn't do it. I don't even know you. No man on this platform should have any reason to diss Dr. B.O.A. Because all I've ever done is tried to help everybody. That's all. And another thing I want to address, man. Why is y'all boys clicking up like y'all doing? I ain't never seen such, man. Let me tell you something. It's one thing to click up in real life with your boys that you came up with from day one. But I ain't never seen so many guys online just meet online and then click up like they real partners for real. I'm talking about, man, like they go back to the cradle, man. I ain't never seen it, bro. But that's what happens. And that's what it looks like. You stand on for principles and you're your own individual man. Your own individual man. They hate that because none of them have the balls to be their own individual man. They don't even speak up to the fact that they've got some strong alliances. But let me tell you about strong alliances. If you're a weak man, if you're a weak man by nature, your strong alliances don't make you any less weak. They just make you think you're strong. You understand? I had a partner with a cat I thought was my partner. Well, I ain't really think he's my partner. We got money together. So, of course, man, I ain't run really with nobody front me nothing. So, you know, he was plugged in, man. You know what I'm saying? He was the right hand man to the plug, to his plug. He was the right hand man to his plug. Prime, appreciate it, homie. He was the right hand man to his plug. But he was out there being sloppy. He was being sloppy out there. So he got replaced. You understand? As close as he thought he was to the plug, he ended up getting replaced. And you know what I'm saying? When you get replaced, you get replaced. I'm talking about you. Listen, you get replaced and displaced. And he whirled around and made all of these enemies, man, because he thought he had some backing. He thought he had some real cash behind him. Yeah, they were behind him when the money was good. It was a money thing. We're a money team. If we're a money team, we all trying to make the same money. Of course, we're going to defend the money. But a lot of time, these cats are nobodies. They're nobodies with no voice. And suddenly they got a voice because they feel like they're being backed by the real. But let me tell you something. Real always recognize real. Real always recognize real. Now, sometimes the real can be sidetracked by being catered to. A lot of us get sidetracked by evil women because they cater to us so well. It's the same thing with men. Sometimes real men get sidetracked by leeches because leeches are very good at singing the praises of another man because they want you to relax. And that's why I'm so standoffish. That's why outside of the alpha sphere, you don't see me doing too much outreach programming. You understand what I'm saying? I do my outreach programs in the real world. Thing I'm saying to you, brothers, because these leeches are out there and they are waiting for the opportune time. And let me tell you something, it's crazy that sometimes these lesser men and unworthy women will be working together and don't even know it. They'll be working together in concert, but trying to act like they're enemies. But you got to have the spirit of discernment about these things. So that's why I'm so adamant about, if you tell me something that somebody said about me, I'm going to confront them about it. And I'm going to tell them, you told me that they said it. And if I tell you somebody said something about you, take me with you to confront them about it. Because I want them to lie in my face when I heard them say it. That's how I am. But I'm real. I might be too real. Because I don't play no backdoor games, and I don't play no switching up games. I don't play none of these things, man. You know what I'm saying? My thing is this, brother. If you don't rock with me, just move on. There's a lot of cats I don't rock with no more, but you don't hear me say nothing about them in my content. I just don't rock with them no more. I don't be on their channel. They figured it out. They don't be on mine no more. If that's the case, cool. But why are you worrying about what the next man is doing so much? Man, let me tell you something. You wish you were Nicolas Cage and I was John Travolta. Or you was John Travolta and I was Nicolas Cage. Because you want to do a face-off. You want to replace me with yourself. Otherwise, you wouldn't be worrying about what I'm doing. Because I ain't never had a one-on-one conversation with you. Or none of that. You don't even know me. And if everything you know about me is coming to you from abroad, and you reacting to that, hey man, you more of a peon than I thought you were. The bottom line is this, man. We're the few, the proud, the alphas. There aren't many of us. There's a bunch of all kind of cats. There's a bunch of gangsters. There's a bunch of pimps. There's a bunch of red pill men. There's a bunch of thugs. There's a bunch of bangers. Bunch of bankers, there's a bunch of educated men, there's a bunch of military men, there's a bunch of athletes, there's a bunch of entertainers, there's a bunch of doctors, there's a bunch of lawyers, there's a bunch of barbers, there's a bunch of beta males. Hell, there may even be a bunch of sigma males. But there are very few alpha males, brothers. You understand? A lot of them claim the mantra, but very few of them bring the thunder. It's a tough world being alpha, man. Because your friends become enemies. And even worse, your enemies try to show themselves as friends. Anytime you're in the middle of two people going back and forth, distance yourself from both of them. Because they're both enemies of your success. I don't care who it is. It could be your two brothers. Get out the midst of it. Because that negative energy is always the enemy of your success. Always the enemy of your success. You don't have to guess about what I'm saying. You don't have to wonder about what I'm saying. It is always the enemy of your success. No matter who they are. So I say this to you, man. On some real talk, I don't want to have to go into no back and forth with nobody on this platform, and I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna get into no spat, because I'm gonna tell you, when two men going back and forth, it reminds me of a lover's quarrel. It reminds me of a man and a woman that love each other and they into it, and so they dissing each other in front of everybody, and don't nobody want to get involved with it because they know they're gonna be right back together. That's what it reminds me of. And I refuse to get caught up in some foolishness like that, man. Because some sucker is in his feelings about either my status or some woman that don't want him. And if she does want him, it's only to have me. And that's the reality. Toot your horn, man. Tell yourself how great you are. But until your content resonates that with people following you and subscribing and sharing your content, spreading the word about how much you benefited them in their process of life, you're nobody, homie. You only somebody to the man in the mirror. So I suggest you keep a mirror in front of you so you can be somebody all day, every day. But one thing I can tell you for sure is in the alpha sphere, you don't count. And that's why you can't even show your face over here no more unless you create a new channel. And that's just the reality of it, man. Let me tell you something. I don't play games with these boys and their negative energy, man. I don't play games with their negative energy, man. So I did a weigh in this morning, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a shopping video to edit, man. A cutting shopping video to edit, man. I'm about to go on a 24-week cut, man. You know what I'm saying? I done fluffed up, man. I'm fat as hell right now, big fat Bob. And I'm gonna let y'all take this ride with me back down to Bobby Stay Lean, man. So I'm gonna be doing a whole bunch of recording and vlogging, man. I got some things for my membership tiers, man. I got some things for Patreon, man. And I also got some things for a few things for the channel, man. I ain't gonna really rock out the channel too much like that. So to get that stuff, you either gonna have to be a member or you're gonna have to be on Patreon, man, because I don't want to change the algorithm as far as it works with the channel too much. I tried that before and I'm still trying to recover from it. So hey, man, I appreciate y'all coming through, man. I done pulled up at my clients, man. So y'all be looking for a D-Flam. I see you, bro. All right, Banks, what up, man? I see y'all, homies. So we gonna get on out of here again. Prime, man, I appreciate the super chat. SJ, man, I appreciate you being here doing your thing, man. So y'all keep in mind, man. Weighed in this morning, man, at 251. Man, I'm fat as hell. Yo, man, I got fat as hell, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, listen. I wanted to be 250, but it was so hard. It took me 5 weeks to gain 3 pounds. I hit 248 5 weeks ago. It took me 3 weeks to gain 5 weeks to gain 3 more pounds, bro. It took me 5 weeks to gain 3 pounds. Like my body just tops out. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I had to stop right here because this feels terrible. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This feels terrible. I'll never do this again, man. Once I get lean this time, bro, I'm just gonna stay lean forever, man. I ain't gonna worry about getting no bigger, trying to put no more muscle on, man, trying to look no better, and then, man, I'm just gonna stay lean forever. Like, this feels terrible, man. Like, I don't know how somebody get 300 pounds, man. That's got to feel like death. Cause I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. This feels terrible. This feels horrible, man. And think about this. Man, I've been eating all crazy trying to gain 3 pounds. Like I could not put on 3 pounds for nothing in the world, bro. I could not put on 3 pounds for nothing, bro. So yeah, you hit the join button from the main page, man. So and this time, man, I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna do some gym workouts this time, man. It's not gonna be all calisthenics. I'm gonna do some things in the gym because there are some things you need to do in the gym, man. For upper chest, I mean, if you really want to get a real serious shoulder workout, man, you gotta do that, man. I mean, if you want to get some real serious rolls, man, you gotta hit some weights. So I'm gonna do some things, man. I'm gonna incorporate some gym work, some weight work into it as well, man. So y'all be looking for that, man. We gonna get on the ball, man. And I share that with y'all, man, because I ain't embarrassed by it, man. You know what I'm saying? For me, it was intentional. And even if it wouldn't have been intentional, if I just would have woke up one day, man, had let myself go, man, I'd have been cool with that. Because it's just the truth of my life. So here home, I just rolled up at my fine crib, man. I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out. Got a little something else coming up for y'all a little bit later on, man. But as you can see, man, look at that. Look at that, man. You know what I'm saying? But 24 weeks, man, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go down to maybe 203. We'll go down by 203, and then we gonna carve back up to like maybe 210, 215. You know what I'm saying? Like 203 is gonna be hella lean, but we're gonna carve back up to about 210, 213, 215, somewhere around there. Just depending on how I look at 210. I might just carve back up to 210. But we'll see, man. I don't want to spend too long. Pastor Coleman, what up with you, bro? Hey, man, I appreciate it, brothers. We're gonna get on out of here, man. I'm holler at y'all later, man. Peace.